Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy. Welcome to the second part of the story. I hope you liked the stories from the first part, because in the second, they are nothing worse. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I will not detain you. Let's go. The first story will be from user DarkBlacksome. Let's listen to it. This is literally my last call for help. I'm 19 years old, and I'm dating a guy that is 5 years older than me. This is primarily an online relationship. I have been dating him since I was about 15, which meant he was 20 when we started dating. I was young, clueless, and grew up in strict parents, so I did not know any better. Like, for example, when I was around 15 years old, he came all the way from a different country to see me. We met up very late at night, and I snuck him into my house. Since I grew up very guarded from the real world, I did not know how sleep with people worked. So every time I had sleep with him, I wasn't aware that my body was uncomfortable. It hurt a lot. The reason I was not aware of how uncomfortable I was is because he told me that it was a good thing that it hurt me. I believed him because he was my only guardian, and so I disregarded how I felt. Majority of the time, I did not think that there was anything wrong, sneaking a 20-year-old man from a different country into my house, especially because I believed that I was in love with him, and vice versa. I've been trying to get out of this relationship since I was about 17 years old, but I cannot since. Every time I do, he would threaten to leak my photos, message my parents that we are dating, or force me to repay him all the gifts that he has even given me, which if I had the means to do so, I would in a heartbeat. And trust me, I know he will, since he has already done something along the lines of that before. For those of you who suggest just telling my parents, it is not really that easy, considering that my parents are insanely strict and I don't know how to say this, but the repercussions will be horrible. I am aware that he does not love me, as he did cheat on me multiple times. Since I now live away from home at a university residence, he has come over and stayed with me a couple of times. There were around 5 instances where he hit me, dragged me, slammed me against the wall, restricted me from getting out of the room. When I tried to tell him that he was being abusive, he replied saying that it isn't abuse since he didn't punch me. When I also tried to tell him that he blackmails or guilt trips me into having sleep, for example, he would tell me that during the times I don't have sleep with him, he tends to get angrier at me. This makes me want to have sleep with him, because getting into arguments make me want to throw up. I am so incredibly sad. I feel so trapped all the time. It has gotten to the point where I'm considering injure yourself to get out of this. I feel like I do not deserve love. I have completely cut out all my friends out of my life in order to keep them out, because he gets really jealous when I want to spend time with them. I literally do not have any love for him, and anytime I even get a taste of freedom, he takes it away from me. I told myself if I don't get out of this relationship by the time I'm 20, which is in September, I am just going to injure myself. I really need help because I do not know how I will get out of this relationship. I live my life in constant fear. I always think I have to do anything. He says, whether it be send him photos, have phone vulgar call, drop everything and call him because I cannot stand to deal with the repercussions. I look at other people in relationships and wonder what I did to deserve this. I don't really know what advice I'm going to get on this, if anyone is going to even read this, or if I'm going to make it. I am just glad at this point that this is all off of my chest, but yeah. Author edited the story. Edit 28 April 2021. Hello everyone. I wanted to provide you all with an update. This is mainly for myself, as I wanted to take in everything that has happened. My ex has not contacted me since 23rd December 2020. However, I would like to provide a general glimpse into my life as a result of all of this finally being over. I am in such a better state now. I find that I can smile and laugh. I can finally experience feelings of happiness and content. This is something I was unable to feel before. I am living with my family, and I genuinely feel like my life is going well. Despite all of this, I feel constant paranoia and still have a hard time making new friends. I am unable to sleep most nights and find myself in positions where I force myself to work in order to prepare for the possibility of him coming into my life again and asking me for large sums of money. He did this before while I was not in the financial state for such things, and I remember giving him $500 at one point and my account balance afterwards at 9 cents. I remember the sadness I felt, knowing that the next day my kitten had her appointment for a shot. I needed to buy her food and litter. I remember going on Google and searching up food I could easily cook up for my cat and alternatives to litter, also rescheduling the appointment with my vet, and then switching to full-time night shifts at a warehouse while having to juggle a full course load. I don't ever want to experience that again. In regards to paranoia, I feel like I am always being watched. My ex was very interested in the idea of camouflaging so that he could hide from someone or blend in with crowds. For some reason, I always feel like he's watching me. Even though I know this is irrational to some extent, I constantly make sure to double-check if all the doors in my house are locked at all times and have reminders to change my passwords every month. I also have deleted a lot of social media apps and also feel very hesitant to post on the ones I still use. I also found that now I can officially process everything that I experienced in the last 5 or 6 years. I was not given a proper teenage life, as I would always come home from school study and then go straight to talking to my ex. This means that I never got to explore relationships. So now I have an incredibly difficult time talking to the opposite gender and truly understanding their intentions. I think everyone I meet nowadays has some intention of hurting me or coercing me. Currently, I have been meditating every day. Multiple times a day, I experience very bad panic attacks that make me feel like I am not real, or that reality is crumbling before my very eyes. So far, meditation is the only thing that has provided me with any sort of progress in dealing with the issues that I have been experiencing. Otherwise, I am doing great. I recently finished my co-op job, and I met great people and formed very close connections. I spend loads and loads of time with my younger brother. He is really into Lego, and for some reason I find great contentment with creating Lego structures out of scratch with him. I find that I am making improvements, and even if I feel like it is happening slowly, I am happy. I want to personally just thank everyone who acknowledged what I wrote or commented on my post. That's what I think about it. What he did to you was too terrible. I'm really sorry that you had to go through all this. No one deserves to be in this situation like you. He acted like a dude who has no conscience and the ability to accept his flaws. If he were a man, he wouldn't have stooped to such a level. And I would appreciate what he has. As for me, manipulating people in this way is too low. Such people do not deserve forgiveness. I am very glad that everything turned out for the better for you. I read in your post that you still have some problems, but they only need time, and they will pass by themselves. This is normal. Thank you for sharing your story with us. I wish you all the best. Good luck. User wondering why commented this post. Things always seem impossible when we are living them. You will and can get out of this. Your parents may be strict, but they still love you. If that's not the case, and they are heartless, there's really no reason to suffer in order to not disappoint them. Just tell them the truth, and don't be a slave to his blackmail. There's so much ahead of your 20 years of life, and this will just be a lesson. Overcome the lesson and don't let it define your life. He's relying on the fact that you are fearful. Face what has to be faced, and that may take some time to recover from, but ending your life is permanent and never the answer. I'm currently exiting a toxic relationship. I was stubborn about why I should exit the relationship and always hopeful. The situation would change, but it takes action and facing difficulties to exit that scenario. I believe that you can do it. Get a restraining order on him and go from there. The author responded to the user's comment. You're definitely right. It's just hard because it's all online, so although he's not there, I still feel him there. Thank you so much for writing this. I really appreciate it. The second story will be from user Caru Blue. Let's hear what she tells us. So I, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 23 male, celebrated our 2-year anniversary last month. He's currently deployed on a submarine in the Navy and will be home in a couple weeks. We live together, have a puppy, met each other's families, and have been planning to get engaged once he comes back. Even went ring shopping, haven't bought anything yet though. I had car troubles recently and needed to get his car from deployed parking in order to have a safe vehicle to drive for a bit before he gets home. He stashes his phone in his car when he leaves on deployments, supposedly so, that he doesn't have to wipe it for security reasons when he gets off the boat. So I now have his phone. It's important to note that at the time I got the phone and car, I did not suspect a single thing. The 2 years I've been with him have been the happiest of my life. We were the perfect couple in every way. Anyway, I do a little snooping just out of curiosity, mostly to see if he has any selfies that he never sent me. Since pictures of each other are our lifelines when he's out at sea, no or low communication, I go into his messages to send his best friend a stupid text. I am also friends with his best friend forever and notice a chat with a contact I'm not familiar with, and we have a small circle of friends that are mostly other couples in his division. So at this point, I know everyone. I notice that this particular chat is the only one with silent notifications, and at this point, the cold feeling begins creeping into my chest. I open it to see. It's just a few messages, but it's him asking this person if he can stop by their place for a quickie at 7:30 a.m. on the way home from spending 24 hours on the boat. I tried to rationalize that it might be a gross joke between sailors and just someone I didn't know, since he'd never given me any reason to suspect him of infidelity. I knew, though, that if I didn't commit to finding out, that my anxiety would eat me alive. So, with shaking fingers, I pressed call. A very confused woman answered, who proceeded to explain that she'd met up with him for sleep a few times. I was destroyed, devastated, every bit of comfort or safety. I felt gone in an instant. I even considered forgiving him if it truly was only once or twice, but I don't think I ever would have gotten over that. The text exchange I found was dated the week before. He left, and then he spent all deployment sending me lovesick emails like nothing happened. Anyway, I decided not to forgive him after I re-downloaded Snapchat on his phone and logged in to find his conversations with a bunch of other women. Photos, disgusting messages, hotel reservations. And those were just the saved chats. Who knows how much more there was? But some of them were from before we even started dating. The timestamps are what really destroyed me, though. My fiancé had the nerve to snap a woman that he was dropping a friend off at the airport at 8 a.m., so can be in city all day for her, if she wanted, and guess who the friend was? He was dropping me off at the airport to visit my family for Christmas. And of course, he was real busy while I was gone, whoring around. Have I been dating a narcissist the whole time and not realized it? I'm friends with his friends, and I actually adore his family. And none of them knew this side of him. He's so comfortable with lying to me and everyone else that we couldn't even tell. And none of the women I talked to had any idea who I was either. I'm actually a bit scared of how thoroughly I did not actually know this person, and I was going to marry him. I moved away from everything I knew to be here with him, and have done so much personal growing in order to be the best partner I can be and as supportive as possible. And this is what he does. So I need y'all to help me get some horrible petty revenge between dude made me his power of attorney. So I hold literally everything he has in the palm of my hand right now. Not to mention, I know his passwords to everything. I don't want to ruin his life or hurt his family, but I do want my revenge. Author edited the story. He has no idea that I know everything. I think I have a few thoughts about this. I don't think it's cool to take the phone and view messages because this is a personal space, but I think you're lucky that you were able to find him cheating. I'm really sorry that you had to go through this, and I hope at this point in your life, everything is already fine. I think revenge is not a good solution. I hope you understand this. Life will put everything in its place. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. User Consistent Algae commented this story. You want revenge without turning into a person just like him. Cheating, lying unwise, dude, destroy his life. Don't worry about what happens to him afterwards. Just splay everything out to his family, friends, anyone you can. Even give all the evidence of infidelity to his command. What they don't tell you is that the military takes infidelity very seriously. Whether or not you're married, he can get in a lot of trouble. You have everything you need to destroy his life. Use it. Here's what the author replied to the user. It's true for wives, but for girlfriends, it happens too often that the military doesn't care at all. I did end up telling his friends and family the gist of it, so they know exactly who he is now. So today's stories came to an end. They were completely different in content and gave us a valuable lesson about what to do in such situations. I hope you liked the stories and you will appreciate them. Do not forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Also, do not forget to leave comments under the video. I will definitely read them. I love you all. See you tomorrow.